Hey everybody, welcome to Baker Banter. Yeah, we're getting going here. Welcome Trent, welcome Trey to our sports podcast.
Hello, hello. Do you guys notice a little change in the forecast? Getting a little warmer, huh?
That's right. What are we back to almost 500 for the month?
Yes.
Started making a couple little runs here, figuring baseball back out here after hitting a little slump, but yeah, it's coming back around. I told you guys, everything's gonna come back. We'll be all right. Just got to
The law of averages, baby.
keep pushing through. I mean, it's tough too because sometimes you can't give up on some of the ones that you want to give up on. I know I'm guilty of that. I'll take Mitch Keller for instance, and I was ready to give up on him after losing one, but I pushed right through and he came right back and picked me up. So,
Yep.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think I've stuck with that Orioles team total, and even tonight it was a little rough on their team total, but it's one that if you keep going with it, you could end up being on the positive a lot of times. So,
for sure.
But if you pick and choose when you're going to go with it when it's available, then you could end up in the negative. So.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, thanks to all our listeners here for sticking it out here, and we're about to heat up here, hitting into June, hitting into prime time of summer, but first, you got something to say?
I was going to say, with that summer weather, don't you tend to hear some boomers?
Got some boomers, so you
in
know
the
what time it is.
forecast? All right.
So let's talk about some of our booming headlines here.
All
All
right.
right. So we'll
Gets
get
me
right
every
into
time.
it here. And Trey, if you want to start us off with some topics.
Yeah. The first thing I want to address. Well, I'll go back to the premier sports league, the king of professional sports. That's the NFL, I'd say.
For a second, Trey, I thought you were going to start talking about Man City or something.
I did too. I literally thought we were
Premier
about to talk
League, I was
soccer.
like, whoa. What's
I'm like,
going
dude,
on?
I got to do some research here before we get into this.
That'd be quite the curveball for us.
Yeah, wow. You did say football, and I'm like, wait, I thought it was American football.
Not football.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I'm gonna start with an NFL topic, and it's about free agency and a couple big names that I'm a little shocked are still available. The first being the big name, that's DeAndre Hopkins. The other two are Dalvin Cook and Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott, not so much the big name, but he's got an interesting free agency going on right now, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, my questions for you guys, it's kind of a two-parter for all three of those people. Where do you think they end up, and where do you think is the best spot for them to end up?
Oh man. You want to do those three?
Yeah, we'll start with DeAndre Hopkins. So
All right.
the news today was that he met with the Patriots, right?
Yeah.
There are some reports that he might sign after this meeting. The Patriots think they have enough money to sign him, but so that's right now, I think, the heavy favorite in most people's eyes.
If I were the Patriots right now, I would treat DeAndre Hopkins like, I believe, wasn't it like the Mavs or the Clippers that locked down DeAndre Jordan and didn't let anybody near him, or they kept him in someone's house away from everybody? Remember that?
I think they borderline kidnapped him, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it fell under the definition of kidnapping. But if I'm the Patriots, I'm doing the same thing right now. I don't let DeAndre Hopkins out of the building without making sure that he's a part of that organization. And you almost hope that Mac Jones is the one on the forefront begging him to stay. So, because I could very well see the Patriots moving on from Mac Jones if he has another year just like he did. And I think DeAndre Hopkins gives him a chance to maybe turn things around up there. Not that it's not that I don't enjoy seeing the Patriots struggle, because I do. Yeah. I really do.
Yeah.
I think the way he's being wooed by the Titans is interesting to me. I mean, going to a Tim McGraw concert the other night. I mean, it's just like, all right, but
is that really wooing him? Tim McGraw concert,
dude. He put it out on his live feed or whatever, man. Like he was pretty excited about it, but I don't know. I mean, I don't see him going to either of those teams. To kind of piggyback Trent's comment about Mac Jones, I did see is having a lot of success right now in camp with his new offensive coordinator. So, you know what? I'm not sold on Mac Jones by any means.
Bill O'Brien.
Yeah.
That's the twist right there. That's the twist.
That's the interesting dynamic.
Right.
Is Bill O'Brien disrespectfully traded him for what, a second rounder or something?
Right. No, I know. It's trust me, I know it's interesting. So, it's tough to see. I mean, I don't see him going to any of those teams. It's also hard for me not to think that. I mean, my thought is his landing spot will be Buffalo. I mean, he's a guy that wants to win a Super Bowl.
Right.
And if you go to the Titans or if you go to the Patriots, that's not going to happen in your career. I mean, I'm sorry to say that. You know, my wife's a Titans fan here, but at the same, those two teams are not going to win the Super Bowl here. I'd say in a couple of years, at least. So I don't see him going to any of those teams, and being a part of a rebuild. I mean, obviously he got out of a rebuild in Arizona, with whatever the heck is going on there. Who knows? They're kind of in shambles, but I don't know. I think he goes to the Bills if he's serious about going to a winning team. So
I personally think I could see him going to either the Cowboys or the Broncos.
Yeah.
If he doesn't go to the Patriots.
Don't even say the Broncos. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I just think I could see that happening. Really, I think they could throw a lot of money at him.
Could they though? I feel like they don't have anything.
They have nothing.
There's nothing because
somehow the Broncos always have money.
Well, I mean now with Sam Walton owning it.
Yeah.
Walmart. You know, so I mean they do have a lot of money, but at the same time there's still a salary cap, supposedly.
Yeah. For now. Yeah, it's like a make believe salary cap.
Let's kick the can down the road salary cap.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Everything signing bonuses instead of.
Trey, I like your take on the Cowboys. I think that would be. I think that could be a very interesting spot for him to land. Contender, security in the quarterback, really, really good defense coming up again next year. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
What about the Colts though?
No way.
Ty, you just said you don't think he wants to be a part of a rebuild. You're going to send him to. He's going to sign an Indy.
I think they have potential to be closer to being more successful than the other two teams. You got Jonathan Taylor. You have a coach. You have a new coach now, and you got Anthony Richardson. So I don't know.
Hey, what's their head coach's name?
Steichen.
I mean, I would honestly have to Google it.
I think it's the Eagles.
Yeah,
coordinator.
I would have to Google it. That's how I think they're tanking. They're going to be a tank
for Marvin Harrison Jr. next year.
But yeah, I think so. Yeah. Just so they're not tanking for Caleb. That's all that matters for me.
They supposedly got their guy, so.
Yeah, did they? I mean, I don't know. It's kind of like wait, I'm sorry. I was totally thinking wrong. Yeah, they definitely got their guy. What am I saying?
Richardson.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yep. So definitely not.
So you also mentioned who? Dalvin Cook too, right?
Yeah, Dalvin Cook was the next one.
I mean, the heavy rumor is the Dolphins.
Yeah.
I've also seen the Broncos in that camp as well. Yeah. So
I think it's interesting that more teams aren't jumping on Dalvin Cook, and I think it's because he's demanding too much money.
So it's also the running. It's Trent. I think you and I talked about it a little bit. It's the running back market.
Yeah.
Running backs in this day and age are not getting the kind of money because they don't last.
Nope.
I mean, very rarely do you have a guy like, say, a LaShawn McCoy, say a Frank Gore, say
Adrian Peterson.
Adrian Peterson. I was going to be the other one I said. They don't last, and it's not necessarily their fault. It's just they're at a position where guys are bigger, faster, stronger. They're constantly taking a beating every single play that they touch the ball. Mm-hmm. Unless you get a guy, I almost feel that's a little bit more like a scat back kind of thing. Like, but I was gonna say Tony Pollard, but even Tony Pollard got banged up. You know what I mean?
The one guy from this generation that we're missing that's pretty reliable and deserves his pay is Derrick Henry. I think.
Oh,
and he's not really a scat back.
He's a run it down your throat kind of back. Yeah, I mean, and that's unique though. I mean, Who? I mean,
Can I,
what
can I
else?
also can I add into this conversation on also look at the teams that had success. Look at the teams that are making runs. They're really their star is the guy that is leading the huddle, not running the ball.
Right.
I mean, you got the Chiefs that just won it with basically a committee of in-betweeners and young guys or rookies. The year before, you had the Buccaneers that won it with, well, they had Leonard Fournette. Yeah, but they also had like 2 or 3 other guys that were kind of like in-betweeners, get them on a 1-year deal. Hey, thanks for the year. See you later after they won the Super Bowl. So I think teams are realizing now is we can get a lot of guys in at this position because of how injury prone that position can be, and not take a huge hit on your own cap. You know, keep your money right now. Keep your money right now for your receivers, quarterbacks, and edge rushers.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
And linebackers.
that's the way
I'd
the
say
league's
inside
moving.
linebackers too.
Yeah, but not quite the money that an edge rusher
No,
gets.
I know.
Like I'm anxious to see. I don't think he's gotten an extension yet, but can you guys imagine the type of money that Micah Parsons is about to make in a year or two?
Oh, yeah.
Well, and
Like that's
so
gonna
Nick
rightfully
Bosa
so too.
Nick Bosa hasn't been paid yet.
Yeah, but they said he's going to be the highest paid defensive player here shortly.
He'll set the line, and then Parsons will get his afterwards. He'll make more.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be the same domino effect that it always does with any of these positions. Yeah. I think Bosa will be the first one.
Can I say where I think Dalvin Cook should go?
Sure.
I think if you're if you want to, I mean, has anybody noted whether or not he's like saying he wants to be with a contender or not?
I think for him, it's all about the money.
Because
how many years has he been in the league? 4?
If 6.
Okay.
6 years. If you want to win a championship right here, right now, I say, or maybe have a shot, I would say go to the Jets.
Wow.
And I know they got the guy that tore his ACL this past year, but go to the Jets. Give Rodgers a huge threat in the run game with him, and I believe is the running back going to return after his ACL tear this year?
Yeah, at some point
he's back. Maybe not right away. But then the other place that I would say to go, because I think the division is wide open, is I would say go to Carolina.
Okay.
Yep, that's the other place I would go.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Carolina is not what I was expecting you to say.
Their owner does like to spend money, and he wants to win now. So that might be the shot to not only get your best payday, but also find yourself in the playoff mix again.
Right. Yeah.
So that's my take on that. I mean, like I said, I'm very surprised the Vikings parted ways with Cook. I was kind of disappointed with it. Like,
kind of stupid.
I just don't understand it either. I'm still a little baffled by it too.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand it. I would love to see him come to San Fran.
Watch out for his brother to have a big year in Buffalo. I'm hearing a lot. I'm reading a lot of good things about him in that offense. So, just a heads up. Might have put that on your fantasy radar. Darn it, I'm in a league with you. But and then let's go to the last one, Zeke. That's a tough one.
So I was just looking into it a little bit ago, and I saw something that he might re-sign with the Cowboys.
I could see that,
and that would be very interesting to me, considering how they developed him into a short down, third down back, which is kind of comical to me, considering what they paid him in his contract before, and
the thing
how
is,
highly spoken of he was with the Cowboys.
When does Pollard come back, though? I mean, that's the issue. You know what I mean? I was a late in the season injury, so it's like, who knows?
Also, it's a very good point.
I mean, that was a pretty serious injury. So that'll be I don't know. I've heard the Eagles for Zeke as well too.
But you think they would want him as their feature every down back?
Who, Zeke?
Yeah.
Well, he's not gonna be. because they just got DeAndre Swift.
What are you talking about?
The Eagles.
No. I was talking about the Cowboys.
Oh. I said the Eagles. That's why I'm like, well, hold on a second.
No. I meant if he resigns with the Cowboys, do you think they trust him to be there every down back again?
I don't know.
No.
I don't think they do.
No. I could see him going. I honestly
maybe
see
he goes
him
to the
going.
Jets.
No, I could see him going to the Rams.
Then he's not going for a championship.
No,
The Rams are awful.
No. Who knows? I mean, right now he's a free agent. I mean, he might end up realizing that he's going to have to take minimal pay.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Is he not still going to get some money from the Cowboys? Cowboys cut him, or is his contract just up?
I'm pretty sure he's a free agent.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, I think you're going to see.
So that's a guy, though, that I could just see your Niners picking up and storing away. And, the way that your backs get injured in San Fran, I could see him finding his way into that scheme.
Oh, I would take it. I mean, especially, we have a lot of scat backs, especially McCaffrey and those guys. It's like, put him in there as a power guy, too, on short yardage stuff. Because, let's be honest, we don't want our quarterbacks doing anything rough. So
no,
I could see that. That'd be interesting. I think you're gonna see though, like a lot of these guys, they're gonna be like maybe early August signings with stuff.
Yeah.
Like you might see. I think Zeke will be one. Either somebody's gonna deal with an injury, or somebody's gonna be like, you know what, this wouldn't be bad. Let's get him on our team. And teach him, just minimum stuff to let him just, learn a little bit so that way they can utilize him. I think you're also going to see that happen, too, with Carson Wentz.
Woo.
Who, I know that's kind of out of left field, but no, just recently they said that Wentz is down in Tampa working with John Gruden right now. So
yeah, I did see that.
I think he's going to be a late backup. Hey, let's put him on our team because just in case – we need some interceptions thrown in key points in the game. Carl Wentz shows up.
Listen.
Carl.
DeAndre Hopkins is signed either by the end of this week or early next week.
Dude, they've been saying that since the draft, though, Trent.
No, it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
It'll be.
You got to understand, and now that the NHL playoffs are done, NBA playoffs are done. You're sitting right now with MLB and WNBA,
golf.
And golf, but in reality, NFL is going to need to grab the headlines again. They grab it. I mean, they own all the headlines. I feel like every week, but I think Hopkins gets signed this week. I think Cook gets signed within about a week or two. I think his process is going to be a little longer. I mean, maybe I'm wrong on that, but I do see Zeke being a potential training camp signing after somebody gets. Yeah, because there's injuries are happening.
Well, that kind of helps me transition into my booming topic here, and I want to. And it deals more with the NFL, but I think you can kind of touch on it across the board with all sports. But I think sports gambling in professional sports, and what I mean by that is players sports gambling. If you guys saw recently the headline that just came out that the NFL has restructured their gambling, I guess, rules for the Pro Bowl this year in Vegas. So, meaning that players are allowed to gamble in casinos at a certain time.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, but I mean, it's. When you look at it right now, I think it says that seven players right now have been suspended or dealing with issues previously, and that doesn't count the most recent ones that are still kind of going through the process of stuff. So,
yeah, I mean, how about there's a Colts player, right? I don't even know his name. They said he was a semi-contributing player, but
right.
They said he was actually betting on Colts games.
Right, and that's
while he was at their facilities.
Right, so I bring this up in the sense of the NFL has a policy, obviously, And over the last 2 years, obviously Calvin Ridley was really kind of the first one that, set things off for people to be like, whoa, because Calvin Ridley was the number one receiver, right, for the Falcons at the time. Got suspended for an entire year. One would think that the NFL was using him kind of as, an example, saying like, listen, you're done for a year. This is what happens. But then all of a sudden now you see some Colts players, some Lions players, like, now you're dealing with a whole bunch of guys. And a lot of them are claiming too, like, wow, I'm sorry, I didn't actually know the rules. I didn't know that I couldn't bet on this sport when I'm on team facilities, or I didn't know I couldn't do this. But it also makes you wonder too, like, where's it going to stop? Where's it going to end? Is, sure, you have to have things in place, but I also think a lot of these sports leagues are kind of at fault for some of this stuff as well. Where, if you're in a state where sports gambling is legal via your mobile phone, you're seeing a commercial every other time that a sport goes to commercial, right?
Yeah.
This just is what it is. But I say the sports leagues are at fault because I look at some of these, sports books and, hey, number one sports book of the NFL, number one sports book of the NHL. So they're partnering with them because now the leagues are making money from these sports books. So I blame the leagues for this stuff.
Yeah, I'm with you, Tyler. I think it's kind of hypocritical for them to partner with all these gambling sites, gambling books, and then punish their players for using them when they're sitting there promoting the same thing that they're punishing. So, I don't necessarily buy the players. Oh, I didn't know the rules or anything. Like if you're a professional athlete and you're betting on football games or any game really. I mean, I would question it just out of common sense. Like, hey, I wonder if this is okay. Let me look into it before I actually do this. But especially if it's their own sport they're betting on.
Right.
But yeah, I think they do need to kind of outline. I mean, it's just going to become more and more legal in different states. I think the leagues do need to outline what is okay, what is forbidden, and stuff like that, and maybe give them some leeway. Like, if they want to bet on an NBA game. What's that like an NFL player talking about? Like if they want to bet on an NBA game or MLB game, I don't think they should be prohibited from doing that.
Right.
I mean, it would be quite
They are allowed. They are allowed. They just can't do it while at team facilities.
That's the only rule is at team facilities.
It can't be on their own sport, and they can place bets on other sports. That's because like one of the big headlines today is that.
And you know that for 100%?
Yeah, because wasn't it just today they said an NFL player has lost this year $8 million on sports gambling.
So, okay.
So I'm just like, I don't really, once again, I think the only rule that needs to be in place is that you're not betting on your own sport.
Huh. So here you go. The NFL allows players to bet on other leagues, but prohibits all employees that are non-players.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, do you see what I'm saying?
That doesn't make any sense.
No, that's such a dicey rule, and who in the world knows what that means? So, and now the NFL has come out and said that they are going to start to redefine it, have more trainings for players and coaches, and everything else, but like it's a very accessible thing for everybody. And who's to say that you're not going to talk to, your close buddy and say, "Hey, listen. Hey, here's what I want you to bet. I'm going to give you this amount of money in cash, all right, to fund you. You're going to make these bets, all right, and then I'm going to make the money off of this." Like it's getting to be real dicey. And trust me,
it's 100%. It's 100% happening. 100%
absolutely,
happening.
Absolutely.
100%.
So
How do you trace that?
As of 3 years ago, the new policy is all NFL personnel, other than players themselves, are further prohibited from placing, soliciting, or facilitating bets on any other professional sports league.
It's interesting.
That just I don't know. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, here you go. Here's another one to add to it. Is there are stadiums and arenas that actually have sports books in their stadiums. You have the Cubs, you have the Commanders, the Washington football team. You have the Cavaliers in basketball, DC United. You have the Mets. You have the Bulls and Blackhawks, the Cardinals, the Diamondbacks, the Nationals. All right, these are all sports arenas. I mean, if you look at that, there was actually a kind of a common state theme there too, when you really look at it.
Yeah.
But DC obviously was a big one. Arizona, it seemed like, was a big one. So I think it was Chicago and even New York a little bit. But there you go. So you even have these sports arenas and stuff that have sports books in them. So I don't know what the solution is. I bring it up as a topic because I think it's interesting. It also makes you a little bit concerned because sometimes when things get a little bit dicey like this, just like the NFL just, made the comment about, hey, we're easing up on some rules here in Vegas with the sports books. Sorry, not with the sports book, with the gambling. You might start to see things pull back a little bit. Then what the heck do you do? And then who runs professional sports in college? It's tough, man.
Hey, you know what they could do is they could just have Congress look at it and monitor it. They should be able to figure it out. Oh, I'm sorry. That was sarcasm in case our listeners couldn't pick up on that. But no, I mean, you know what? I think it's with sports gambling expanding to even more states, especially here in the upcoming years. It's going to be an interesting. I think one thing we're missing out on here is the understanding that sports books are working with these leagues and ratting on these professional athletes when they are placing bets there.
Absolutely.
So just something to keep in mind, as those books are totally sharing who's using their book and at what location. So it's a little in my mind, it's a little bit of like, we're
privacy.
Yeah, how are you invading that sort of privacy?
Yeah.
So, but can we transition into our next booming topic?
Yeah, for sure.
Let's do it.
So I'm going to stick with a quick one here in the world of college football. College football. I was just thinking today. I was like, this was the first year where college football really got me. Like it brought me home. I don't have a team still, which is why I always said I avoided it. But
we are.
It really no. But it really got me engulfed this year to almost the point where it's close to me it taking over its top spot over the NFL for me.
Hey, 73 days till college football kickoff.
Okay, hell yeah. All right, so. My attention was drawn to the release of the 2024 SEC schedules. Yeah. And one team in particular that I think probably today said, well, damn. And it's the Georgia Bulldogs, in my opinion. Next year, if they are not in the football playoff, then something went terribly wrong because their 2023 schedule, let me rattle these off real quick, and you tell me if you hear any threat to a perfect season here. Open it up with Tennessee Martin. Then you got Ball State. Then you got South Carolina. You got UAB. You got Auburn. You got Kentucky. You got Vanderbilt. You got Florida. You got Missouri, and then you end with Ole Miss.
And Trent, you said this.
Sorry, I skipped two because I was going to say here's their hardest game. They are at Tennessee, and then they close the season with Georgia Tech. But really, other than the Tennessee game, guys, I mean, are we really like this is next year?
This is not this fall.
The one that I just read you is 2023. Okay. So that is this fall.
Okay.
Yep. So that is this year, this coming schedule.
Right.
Other than Tennessee, there's not a threat to a perfect season, correct?
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't doubt Ball State there.
Okay, thanks.
I was about to
football,
say, not
what?
Basketball.
Yeah. So now let's go to the next year. Now In 2024, with the understanding is Oklahoma and Texas. Oklahoma and Texas are joining the SEC in the season of 2024. Okay? So now, Georgia, this is Georgia's schedule for 2024. They open with Clemson. Okay? They do have Tennessee Tech, which you do. Now, a couple of their other games, I don't believe.
They open with Clemson.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm seeing Florida is on their schedule, UMass is on their schedule, Georgia Tech's on their schedule. But then the dates are to be determined, and I believe even home away is to be determined. But the teams who they're playing in the SEC, they have Auburn, Mississippi State, which Hugh Freeze is back at Auburn, isn't he? Or he's at Auburn now, head coach. So give him 2 years. He'll have his guys there. I think Auburn will he'll pay and buy them whatever, like he did the other place. But we'll talk about that. Mississippi State, Tennessee. Get this, guys, a regular season matchup. This doesn't happen. They have there. And this is it's telling me at Alabama.
I saw that
in the regular season.
I did
in the regular season.
About time.
Then they
about
have
damn time.
Kentucky, Ole Miss, and then they also have at Texas, which that could be Arch Manning time. So schedule's a little harder. So that was something that jumped out to me. I don't know if you guys have anything to add to that,
I yes and no. I mean, do you think that Alabama's reign is over? Is Georgia the new king?
I would say so. Yes.
Yeah,
I would say the last 2 years.
Like, do you think Saban is good? You know, as good as he's been, as good as his teams have been. Do you think the reign of Alabama is over and it's now Georgia's time? I'm not saying that Alabama's not ever going to make the playoffs.
Oh, I was going to say Alabama will be in the playoffs next year, but I think Georgia right now is the top dog.
So my question is, you're a player. It might depend on position. You have an offer from Alabama. You have an offer from Georgia. Where are you going right now?
Oh man.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's like in the past it was like, hey, I'm going to Alabama. Like, why the hell not? Because I'm going to win out.
As an offensive lineman, I'm going to Bama. Okay. But if I'm a defensive lineman, damn right you're going to Georgia right now. I mean,
really any defender.
And I'll tell you what, a couple years ago, if you were a defensive lineman, you were going to Clemson.
Yeah.
Remember how they recruited them even on the night they won? Yeah. Like even the players. So I mean I mean, there for a while you thought that maybe Clemson was going to dethrone. It lasted for a couple, a year or two, maybe 3.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Georgia, whew.
Georgia is it right now.
Yeah, Georgia's the pinnacle.
Yeah. But I mean, honestly though, it's right up there. I think it's Georgia, Bama. I mean, they're the top 2 teams.
Yeah.
The toughest thing is that it always makes the playoffs super muddy because depending on where they're at in the rankings, they're going to play in the SEC championship.
Right.
And then whoever wins that, okay, they secured their fate. They're in the playoff. And then the other one is just waiting and hoping things fall apart.
Yeah.
And they sneak in. I mean, they're always, whether they're in or not, they're always in the conversation to be in. And I don't know yet. I can't recall, but when does the playoff expansion happen? Because
2024.
Also 24. Yeah.
Oh, so then so it's going to be super interesting. But
so and this is kind of one other follow-up question too. Is we talked about Oklahoma in the SEC now, or going to be in 2024, right? Is Brent Venables going to be the coach by then?
Yeah.
At Oklahoma?
Well,
absolutely.
He's already the coach now, isn't he?
I know that, but I'm saying, is he going to last that long?
Oh, yeah.
Like, do you – because they had a pretty up and down year last year.
Yeah,
Oklahoma's
they
not
got destroyed. They got destroyed by the transfer portal.
right, but I'm saying like they're not. That's not a program that the boosters are gonna let just he's okay. Like we can go 6-6, 7-5, whatever it is, and everything's okay.
Boosters got to use that NIL money to get his recruits there.
Yeah,
that's what college football is now.
I don't know, man. I thought I'm really surprised he left Clemson. I thought he had such a good thing there, and I just
that's his own.
Got to do it. Got to do it.
I don't know, man. I don't think you do. I don't think you always do. The same reason that I would say that Dabo better never go to Alabama.
It could happen. It could happen.
Money talks, Tyler.
Money does talk, and that's also Dabo's alma mater. So keep that in your back pocket. Although, how long did Clemson sign him for? Didn't they just sign him pretty big?
They did, but that doesn't matter anymore, man. I think in all sports across the board, does the contract truly mean anything anymore?
No.
Because all guys got to say is, man, I don't want to be here anymore. I mean, I would say Anthony Davis started it.
Yeah.
I think he started it. So, all right. Well, let's. You guys want to transition into a little recap of NHL, NBA? Can I?
Let's
use this as
toot your horn there, sir. Toot it.
Oh, guys,
toot
I'm
your
a
horn.
little offended. I actually was not going to toot my horn. I was actually going to kind of summarize two quick little headlines to transition us here. On the show, we talked. This was one of, I believe, Tyler's talking points. What do you think the tougher athlete is, or tougher sport to play? Football and hockey, right? And
Glad you brought this up.
And even though we all played football, none of us played hockey at all. We all agree that hockey players are freaks. They're freaks of nature. Like, I just don't know. I don't know how they do it. But just to kind of summarize it here, Kachuk.
Yeah.
You think, oh, how could you miss the final game of the Stanley Cup? What are you doing? He was playing with a broken sternum, guys.
In Game 4.
Yeah, in Game 4. So, you know what? Get off his case. That's goodness gracious. Broken sternum, played Game 4 with. Let's go to his teammate, Aaron Ekblad. He had a broken foot in the Boston series.
Which is nuts to me. I saw that today.
Yeah, and then 2 separate shoulder dislocations and a torn oblique.
Yep.
And you are playing professional hockey at the highest level.
Yeah.
So I thought that was oh my gosh, like it blew my mind. So toughness. Hats off to the Panthers. Great run.
Yeah.
They ran into a better team.
And dude, I don't know if you saw too. Just to real quick touch on the Panthers with that stuff. Did you guys see the coach's post game interview?
No,
dude, it was so good, and I think Biss actually talked about it on TNT. Is they have a lot of salary cap room. They're very young, and they talked about how in the past it used to be like, hey, I'm going to go to the Florida Panthers to end my career because I'm going to sunny Florida, right?
Right.
But the way that you look at this team now, and the way that this coach talked about. He said, you get cynical in your old age. And he said, but I'll tell you what, the best thing I've experienced this year, those guys in that locker room love each other. It's an amazing thing to see. With everything that you want your kids to learn in sports, those guys love each other and will do anything for each other. And they showed the guys on TNT last night, post game after that interview. And it was a little bit emotional. I mean, when you watch it, like he didn't break down or anything, but like it was just he gathered his thoughts. Yeah. And they said, like, why would you not want to be somebody right now and saying, well, holy crap, I'm going to go play for this coach. I'm going to go to that locker room and I'm going to go beat the crap out of somebody and play some awesome hockey. Like, it was great.
Very true.
So, the Panthers did play a heck of a series. I think they were too banged up. There's no way they could have competed with the Golden Knight machine, if you will, because that's what they look like. 9-3.
Coming from the guy that said Panthers in 7.
I mean the injuries caught up to him.
So Tyler, I'm going to interrupt you again, just like I did 2 episodes ago. What was that bet that I said was making that noise? Cha-ching.
Yeah.
What was that bet? What was that bet?
I think
anybody? Trey, what was that bet that I said? I said this like as Vegas made it to the second round of the playoffs. I said this. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it was the series. Oh, I thought you were going to say about the series.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Winning the Stanley Cup 4-1.
Yeah.
4-1, boys. 4-1.
Exactly picked it.
Yeah.
As a fellow Golden Knights backer, Trent, I'm proud of you.
Thank you. You know, it was a lot of hard work. Stayed a lot of late hours.
I will say this, guys.
But I had great support.
I think my son is actually a Golden Knights fan because he cheered just as obnoxiously against me as you guys have been. And sat down in my basement watching the game with me, cheering every single 9 goal that they scored last night. And I was like, really, dude? So much to a point where he actually had me buy him a Golden Knights shirt today. So think we lost that Flyers fan, but I can't blame him because they are an exciting team, dude.
Well, let's talk about being a Flyers fan, right? It's been 17,549 days since the Flyers won a Stanley Cup. Hell, the Vegas Golden Knights existed for 2,095 days, and they have one. Okay, so you know what? Being a Flyers fan is a very. I'm gonna say it. I want to make the. If the Flyers don't make the playoffs, I'm gonna question my fanhood next year.
No, we can't.
I might be a free agent.
Hey, man, and I could always go back to my old team.
They're
about to get
horrible.
Yeah, they're about to get the number 1 player, so we'll see how horrible they are.
They'll make the playoffs before the Flyers do as well.
Man, look at you guys, so quick to jump ship.
I'm not jumping any ships. I'm just saying it's frustrating, dude.
Trey, it is not quick to jump ship. Okay, they stink. But anyway, good. Congrats to the Golden Knights. I think besides my 4-1 bet, you correct me if I'm wrong, but I also got my MVP vote.
Yeah,
correct as well. So, man, I don't know.
I was unaware that the Conn Smythe is a playoff long MVP trophy.
Got to research it then. Sounds like
that's interesting. That's very interesting.
Which hold on though,
Eichel, that would have helped Eichel more.
Exactly. That's what I was just gonna say. I was actually very surprised that Marchessault won it because of that reason.
Series.
Because Eichel, I think, overall, then I think they were all talking about it. Gretzky was talking about it last night. They said that Eichel actually had the better, totalitarian.
What is this?
Total playoff series? I don't know. We'll just stick with total.
Totalitarian.
But
yeah, I think we just made up a word.
But yeah,
he's on summer break, Trey.
I know. I'm not thinking about anything. But yeah, so I think Eichel had the better playoffs more so than Marchessault. But I don't know. I mean, even last night, I think Eichel had 3 assists, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Like everything was pointing towards Eichel getting it. But yeah, I mean it is what it is.
It is what it is. Just. Give him my credit where credit's due, So
well, that was good.
And then I will commend Tyler. Did call Nuggets winning at 4-2. I had Nuggets
4-1, Trent.
I'm sorry, 4-1. I had them at 4-2. So, but I mean, it echoes, Tyler, the comments that you said the Panthers coach made. That is also the message that's being portrayed by individuals close to the Nuggets team. It's a team where they have a superstar on their team that doesn't act like a superstar. Dude, he just plays hard, has their guys back, and honestly, he's about going to work. I mean, he's about going to work, and he wants to win. Not saying that other superstars don't want to win, but he doesn't let all that other crap get in the way of just playing basketball.
The difference between him and like these other superstars is, or not even just him. I'd say that team versus other teams. I think I brought it up and I compared them to the Bucks from last year. Is they just play basketball. Like there's not drama. There's not, oh, he's not getting his shots and he's saying this to him and they're fighting and they don't like each other and they don't agree with this. Like they just play basketball, and I think that's starting to surface a little bit. And I'll be honest with you, I think that's good for the NBA, is that you're getting away from, I'll be the first to say that I hated what you could call the Big Three era, where all of a sudden every team was getting a big three, right? Do you remember that? Like I think it started with the Celtics back with Paul Pierce and them, like oh big three, and then it was like oh who's your big big and it was like big three. I hated that era because I felt like what it did is it just diminished the players that were, I don't want to call them role players, but played basketball.
Right.
And
did the dirty part of the game.
But didn't get recognition. It was all about like, hey, who can we just make a superstar? Oh, let's put three superstars together. That's your. If you want to make a big three, then you should have went to 3-on-3 basketball. Like, it's not. Then don't be a 5-on-5. So I think it's good for the NBA that a team like the Bucks won it, a team like the Nuggets won it, and if you look at just saw Jerry West comments today. Jerry West hates the NBA right now. I don't know if you guys saw anything about that. And he actually said he despises the 3-point line, which is what my comment was a few weeks ago about the NBA, is that I think you're going to see a 4-point shot before you see the 3-point shot ever get diminished. And I hate that.
But yeah, it's going to lead to ugly, almost gimmicky type basketball if they create a 4-point line.
Like the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like...
Yeah.
But
nothing against,
not like the fun
nothing
dunks.
against the Harlem Globetrotters, guys, if you're listening.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, not like the fun dunks. I'm just saying, like, it's just going to be, an entertainment show. WWE wrestling.
How much of that do you credit to, not credit, but I would say blame the Warriors team that literally made a dynasty out of that type of offense.
And what's funny is that Jerry West was on a board that was also in charge of the Warriors at one point in time. And that was kind of the weird irony of it, is like, oh, here's a guy that's on the board for this team, but look at that team. I was like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I don't know. I think the Nuggets winning, and I think the more you can see teams like the Nuggets like that be successful, I think that'll actually help the NBA keep their fanship. So,
well, it's kind of interesting within the
Sonics come back.
Within the last 5 years, I think of the 5 last championships in the NBA, only one of the 5 champions has been the betting favorite to win it all, and that was the Lakers in the bubble.
Yeah.
So that's good. That's good for NBA basketball.
Barry Bonds asterisks.
Yeah.
You guys just love to hate.
I do.
But yeah, so I mean, hey, it's a interesting time in the sports world right now. I mean, we are all MLB. Yes, we do have the lovely U.S. Open coming up, but it's pretty much all MLB and until we get the football season, boys. So let's dig in. Let's ride out this summer with some good baseball bets.
Yeah,
that's right.
So, do you guys want to transfer into baseball before we get into our golf to finish up before the U.S. Open, or
let's go baseball?
Let's do it.
Hey, can I read off some quick things before one of you two share your bet before we get into bet bail and back?
Yep.
I did save this.
Don't forget the ING, Trent.
Yep, and backing. Sorry. So right now, this was as of June 13th, the most profitable MLB teams in 2023. so far. And this is based on just like how many units if you were taking them money line and such. The Diamondbacks are the most profitable team at 13.8 units. The Orioles are second at 11.7. Rangers at 9.2. Rays at 9.1. Pirates at 7.8. Marlins at 6.4. The one team I think out of those top profitable teams that surprises me the most are the Marlins. They're a team that I kind of like. I'm always super hesitant to bet on this because I feel like I can't grasp their pitching.
That's exactly. I can't figure out their pitching. I was gonna say the exact same thing, dude.
So ready? You guys want least profitable?
Yeah.
Bottom 5 here. So I'll save the most. Actually, no. I'll save the least profitable team for last year. But we have in the least profitable section, we have almost slipped up and read a curse word because the person that posted this actually calls them the S word Sox. The Chicago White Sox.
Can't believe Trey just said the S word, Trey.
Wow. Wait to wash my mouth out with soap.
Jeez. The S word Sox. Oopsies.
Well, as a show, we're at totalitarianism, whatever that word Tyler was trying to
You already cursed on that. You already cursed on this episode. You already said ass. So we can say shit socks.
Sorry, Chicago shit socks. There you go. They're at minus 11.6 units. The Mets are minus 11.9. Cardinals minus 16.8. The A's, watch out right now. They're minus 18.7. And then, ready, the least profitable team.
Yeah.
Any guesses? You guys want to take a guess?
Padres.
Okay, Tyler says Padres. Trey?
I'm going to say...
Come on. Wow. No good. Look, he's good.
I'm going to say the Cardinals.
He already said the Cardinals, Trey.
He's not even listening to me.
Okay, I want to take. I want to take the.
Look at the. Pay attention.
I want to take the Yankees.
No. Wrong. The Royals at minus 23.5 units. So, once again, in summary, D-backs most profitable, Royals least profitable for our listeners that like to place a couple wagers out there. Okay.
So real quick, that actually helps me transition here.
Go ahead, Ty.
I'm going to transition into my bet. What I love right now.
Yes.
You stole from me yesterday.
2 weeks in a row, Tyler. Stole that. 2 weeks in a row.
Fade Jordan Lyles from the Royals. And dude is at
You got another fade?
14 games. I know. He's about to go to the minors.
That's what I'm worried about.
Gone.
Give us another
I'll find another guy. Don't worry. That'll be 3 this year. Jordan Lyles from the Royals. Fade him. Fade his first 5. He's at 14 games. He is 0-11. 6.89 ERA. 61 earned runs. And 18 home runs. Now, I will say this. He almost got at least not a loss last game, but I mean, it was close. I think it was 5-4 when he left. But fade Jordan Lyles is my bet. That is what I'm loving right now.
Okay.
Anything, I mean, it would be even so much to a point where if you can get a team first 5 minus a half a run, I'd probably take it against Jordan Lyles.
Wow.
Because while it seems that 0-11 is kind of an anomaly, if you will, like, wow, this should probably end soon, I don't see it ending anytime soon. So the only thing I see is that he maybe doesn't get a loss. Maybe he just, I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So fade Jordan Lyles. That's what I love. What are you guys betting?
All right. My bet, I'll go quick here because I've honestly been kind of all over the place with the styles of plays I've been putting out for our recipe. I've been putting a couple money lines, couple first 5 totals, mainly under still, but and team totals. But what I'm going to say to bet right now is anything favoring the Reds offense. They're scoring, man. They are scoring. Now, granted, I understand right now we're looking at the series where they're playing against the Royals, right? But it's kind of, they're going to lead me into, I want to talk about them. I don't want to take away my own backing situation here, but yeah, Reds offense is what I'm betting.
Okay, I like that. Trey?
Backing,
Nope, we're on bet right now. We're on bet.
Oh, we're on betting?
We're on bet. What do you love?
Gosh, wait, hey,
Okay.
Cat in the window, pay attention.
He's not listening. He's not listening at all.
Well, what I'll do is I'll go betting, and then I'll start us with the backing.
Well, we still got to do bail.
We bail next, young man.
Oh my gosh!
Come on now.
This guy.
Okay. Fine.
This guy's nuts. Who brought
All
this
right,
guy?
so betting.
Meaning, what do you love?
Yeah, what I'm well, I don't love anything, but I'm finally starting to thaw out from my ice age a little.
Tell him your strategy, Trey. Tell him how you're betting, Trey.
Yeah,
Tell him how you're betting. Come on.
I won some bets here for us. I won some bets, and what I'm doing is, I'm not gonna lie, it's really tough for me because it just defies all logic. But I find my bets, do my numbers, crunch them, find my bet for the day, and I go the complete opposite.
Oh my gosh!
And yeah, I think it's been successful for me. So it's pretty crazy how
we're back to a game under 500. So
yeah, I'm gonna keep it up.
Yeah.
Like you have no idea how hard it is when I look at the bets that I really like, find it, I fall in love with it. I'm like, shoot, now I have to just bet the opposite, and I've been doing it. I've been doing it, and it's working. So.
Jeez, I'm so sorry, Trey. I'm so sorry.
Keep it up.
Yeah. It's like that's almost sounds like equivalent to like having to, like, you ever just like see your favorite team, no matter the sport, and you see the line and you're like, oh, there's no way they're gonna cover that. There's no way, and then you're just like, I can't bet it, but it's almost like you're actually betting that, like, against your favorite team.
You know what I've been doing is, because I feel like I have this subtle bias whenever I'm looking for bets, because I'm like, well, I'm not going to like that one too much because I actually do like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what I do is I convince myself, no, I'm going to take my numbers. I'm going to trust them. And then once I make up my mind, convince myself, I just go the opposite, baby. It's a mental circus in there, but it's working. So.
I was gonna say.
Jeez.
Yeah.
All right. Sweet.
Wow.
So that's what you're loving.
You're
loving
fading
fading yourself.
What are we bailing? What is he doing to himself? Oh, fading.
Failing. Or, no, fading himself.
Yeah, fading himself.
Not failing himself. Trey, you're failing yourself. You need to see somebody.
Yeah, at least I'm back to winning bets. That's all that matters.
All right, so bail. Trey, you want to start off with a bail?
Shoot. Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm bailing, but I'm slowly getting off the nerfy train.
Yeah. That's a tough train to be on.
Yeah, it's very frustrating too. It's a frustrating train to be on. It was a short-lived thing, and it was fun. Got a couple rushes. Yeah. But it's in the consistency in the long run. It's a crapshoot. I mean, you have the three best hitters up for each team, and you have pitchers that are either like starting pitchers that are either really good that just aren't settled in yet, or you have no-name pitchers that get lucky and they have 3 groundouts, and it's. I just feel like it's kind of too much of a crapshoot for me. So
nerfy train.
With over 400 million.
You're off. Sorry, that didn't work.
I don't know what that was.
That didn't work like I wanted it to.
I think that was an ad.
No, I know.
I think that was an ad.
There, that's what I was going for.
We're an ad-free show, guys. Sorry about that.
I was trying to get the choo-choo sound there for the nerfy train.
The choo-choo sound
did not work at all. It gave me a 5-second ad. Thanks.
Trying to get the choo-choo sound. Oh man. All right.
All right, Trent. What are you bailing on, dude?
I am bailing, and I know this is like everyone's like, "What are you talking about? They're so profitable." I'm bailing my personal self on betting on the Rays. I can't do it. I just can't do it at all. Yep. I joked last week and said 16 of their 18 losses were when I bet on them. Well, let me tell you, I bet on them again this week. and they lose.
You've
so
also been
I'm
hitting the
not.
Royals, though, so...
I was going to say, why don't you bet on the Rays when they play the O's next time?
What? No, just keep betting on them because they're in the same division, dude.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Can't do it. But, yeah, so I'm done. I'm done with the Rays. They're almost like up there with like the Phillies. I mean, heck, Trey, you bet the Phillies. I think it was last night.
Mm-hmm.
I think you were on the Phillies total last night, and I'm like, oh no. But yeah, I don't touch Phillies, and Rays are now the other team that at this point I'm just not going to touch.
It's funny how teams can get that quick, like, because I'm almost becoming like that with the Yankees too. And I hate the Yankees, period. Like, I just don't like the Yankees as a team. And they're a team that I hate to bet on, too. Like, either way, because I feel like I always lose. So yeah. I'm like that with the Yankees, too, Trent. But that's not my bail. My bail, you ready for this? This is gonna sound kind of weird.
Yeah.
I hate the Oakland Athletics winning streak. Hate it.
Oh,
I hate it.
Wow.
I hate it because they shouldn't be winning.
I love their reverse boycott the other day.
That is ridiculous. I'm not. Yeah, awesome. I am bailing on the Oakland Athletics and their win streak. They've won 2 right now. They're losing by 1 currently, but they have won the last 2 games against the Rays. Trent.
Okay.
I hate it because it shouldn't happen. So. They're not a team that should be winning. They are. I think they're on a 6-game win streak right now. Going for 7 tonight. We'll see what happens. But I think right now it's 4-3 Rays. But if they actually sweep the Rays, stay away. Just stay away. Because what's going to happen is people are going to get comfortable and they're going to be like, well, maybe we'll take the Rays. Don't do it. Stay away. Or maybe we'll take the A's. I'm sorry. Stay away. So that's what I'm bailing on.
Fair enough.
All right. Backing's our last one here.
Yep.
You guys mind if I start?
Yeah, go
for it.
I'm quick here. I got one thing I'm backing. I am backing pitcher K-props again. I am back on that train. Mitch Keller, Hunter Brown from the Astros, Strider from the Braves, which is a guy that we won today. I couldn't believe they actually capped him at 9.5 Ks. And I literally looked at it because I think FanDuel actually changed their cap. They went to 8.5. And looking at it, I'm thinking 9.5 Ks. If I'm a person, I'm betting that, I'm taking the under. And if you're a person that's going to take the over of 9.5 and you win, good for you, man. Like, good for you because, like, that's impressive. If you're going to bet on 9.5. So, Strider's another guy, and McClanahan from the Rays. So, that's where I'm at.
What about Hunter Brown?
I said Hunter Brown. That was the second guy I said.
Okay.
I said Mitch Keller, Hunter Brown. Okay. Mitch Keller, Hunter Brown, Strider, and McClanahan. Those are my guys right now.
I like it. I'm going to go ahead with my backing, and I am backing the Red Hot Reds.
Okay.
I already said I'm betting on their offense. I'm thinking they have a young, talented team. And right now, quite honestly, they're playing in a division that is completely wide open. Mm-hmm. I mean, unless you have faith in the 34-32 Pirates finishing out the year, the 34-34 Brewers finishing out the year and taking it, or the 34-35 Reds. I think the Reds, I think they have the momentum right now at this point in the season. Brewers are struggling offensively. In the Brewers' last 10, they're 3-7. The Pirates' last 10, they're 5-5. The Cubs, who are in the same division, their last 10, they're 5-5. The Cardinals, who we a couple weeks ago talked about how maybe taking them to win it was a steal. Mm-hmm. Nope, they're buried and last in that division. In their last 10 games, they're 2-8. The only team that's above 500 in their last 10 are the Reds. And guess what, guys? They're 8-2 in their last 10. So
they're a pretty hot team right now.
I'm on the Reds, and I'm just listen. I'm not saying that they're going to do anything crazy and like make some deep playoff run, but they don't have the starting pitching to do it. But heck, I don't know if they have any sort of pitching to do it. But that's why I'm always all about the Reds' offensive picks, because they're going to score, and more than likely the other team is going to score too. So it's just a matter of the Reds scoring more runs in the end, right? And that's the key to winning in all sports.
I think that's what determines it.
Yeah, you know. So, hey, I love
great analysis, Trent.
Yes.
So
but seriously, guys, game and a half back at this point in the year of the Reds. So don't sleep on them.
I mean, you're right. That division is completely wide open.
Yeah.
Getting to my backing, I was giggling to myself, Trent, when you were going on your spiel about the Rays and the teams that you don't like.
Say jiggling or giggling?
I said giggling.
Okay.
Yeah.
It sounded like jiggling. I was jiggling myself. I'm like, what's that mean?
Maybe my belly was jiggling as I was giggling, but no.
Keep moving. Keep moving here.
I was laughing to myself when.
Okay. Anyway, go ahead.
When you were discussing the Rays and the teams that you don't like betting and going through them all, because one of them that you mentioned is actually one of the teams I'm backing, and that is the Philadelphia Phillies. I think they finally hit their stride. They look like the team they were last year. Their pitching staff is getting back to healthy. Ranger Suarez is pitching a gem right now against the Diamondbacks, who's a pretty hot team.
Dude, they crushed the Diamondbacks last night.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Kyle Schwarber's back in the leadoff spot, not crushing bombs to start games. They look like the team that made a run in the playoffs last year. And if they can consistently carry that into the rest of the season and into the playoffs, I think they're gonna be forced to be reckoned with. I really do.
You remember last year too, because they were a team that came on at the end.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like they were good the whole year. So
yeah, and the only unfortunate thing for them is that they're playing for a wild card spot, no matter how well they play.
Yeah.
For the rest of the season, because the Braves I think they have that division locked up. But
Strider's the man, dude.
He is the man. And that roster is just unbelievable.
I know it was the Tigers, but they went 2-0 today in a doubleheader.
Yeah, it's wild, but yeah,
tough.
And that pretty much wraps up baseball for us, right?
All right. Well, I think we need to tee off.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait either.
You ready?
I'll tell you.
Should I give you the reins here?
Yeah. I mean, I know a lot about it. I've been looking into it. So U.S. Open, third major of the year. It's going to be at L.A. Country Club, their North course.
Okay.
Architect is George Thomas. Other famous courses he is responsible for is the Bel Air Golf Club and Riviera.
All right, cool.
Bel Air doesn't host many PGA Tour events, but Riviera hosts quite a few.
Cool.
The standard typical U.S. Open conditions, they grow the rough out like a foot long. They roll the greens. They make them pretty much glass. Right. They lengthen the course and everything. That's at every U.S. Open venue they have. But the one that really sets this one apart is they have what are called Varencas throughout this course, which are just dormant riverbeds that are kind of vegetated and grown over. They line the fairways, they cut across the greens, and if you have to play out of one of them, it's like a death trap. So that's the real big defense of this course is the Varencas.
Varencas. That's interesting.
Yep. The other defense that they have is their chewed edge bunkering.
Guys.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. If we're together watching the U.S. Open,
a drinking game?
Yes. Anytime if you hear the word Varenka, you must finish the drink that you have in your hand.
Okay.
If they speak of Varenka.
Okay, Trent. And I have another phrase that they'll say a lot that we can drink to, and that's chewed edge bunkers.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
Okay.
I'm excited.
All right. Hey, we'll actually tweet those out. Chewed edge bunkers and Varencas. You're going to have to send me the spelling on Varencas because I have no clue. All right, but we'll tweet those out, and if you guys want to play a drink game with us, drink anytime they say those words.
We'll tweet it out. We'll tweet it out every time.
Is that what it is?
Too.
I mean, if it's a coffee, an orange juice, a Gatorade,
I might be doing things.
That's all right. But yeah, so that's what kind of sets this course apart.
Show me your
along with
Verancas.
the. Oh my gosh!
Oh boy!
You said dirty Verancas.
I said, show me your Verancas. Like,
Oh,
of course.
This guy.
Those are some stanky Verancas.
That's a step further, Trent. That's a step further.
Yeah.
Right. Well, anyway, back to the golf course. Yeah, so that's their real. That's
the
their
dirty edge.
The defense is the chute edge bunkers and the Verancas.
Chute edge. Sorry. Not dirty
the one
edge.
thing I wanted to highlight is how long their par threes are. So there's 5 of them. Listen to the yardage: 228, 284, 171, which is kind of reasonable, 290, and 133. Like, those are par threes. They're expecting those players to hit their first shot on the green from 290 yards, 284, and 228.
Well, I think that goes back to, I think, Trent, you were asking Trey something about, like, the hole-in-one thing.
There's a boost on DraftKings for any player at all in the tournament any day to hit a hole-in-one.
I don't see that happening unless it's on number 15, the 130 yard.
Okay.
Because these are gonna be some beasts.
Well, and also one other real quick side note too is, I think Trent, you had also questioned about like boosts to like. The one that I did like that you sent out on FanDuel was it Hovland, right?
Hovland.
Victor.
Rahm, Mickelson to make the cut was boosted to plus 350. I really like that.
Yeah, that is a good one.
So
I
that
did
would
send
definitely
that.
be something I would throw some money down. But
yeah, that
I
was
did like that
was plus 350.
I didn't like the other one about Rory, which I don't even think you can get anymore. But Rory and Brooks under 70 on the first day. I don't like it because I actually think Rory is too much in his own head right now with the whole live situation.
Or is he gonna like come out there and say I'm the guy?
Nope.
Like,
I think he's gonna try too hard.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
I mean, I don't like Rory at all. I'm not betting on him.
I think he's going to come out and he's going to try too hard. I did not like that boost. I did take the other one.
Okay.
Plus 350.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
The other thing that is a little unique is this course has extremely, extremely hard holes. Then they have holes that are very birdieable. Tough and easy holes, boys.
Hard holes and Verancas, man.
Hard holes, Verancas, and easy holes? Like,
they better control their balls.
Dude, what kind of show is this? This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
No, they're called half par holes.
All right.
Okay.
So meaning like there's a lot of 4.5 pars and a lot of 3.5 pars. Meaning par 5s that play that you can birdie them. That's why they're 4.5s, and there's par 4s that are ridiculously tough. That's why they're 4.5.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's good help with the stuff. I mean, so Trey, when you're looking at like a course like this, and I don't know if you have an answer to this because I'm kind of putting you on the spot, but like, what are you looking at the winner to be able to shoot?
Oh well, geez.
Like are we talking? Because I know the last one we had talked about with the golf tournament. You're like, hey, like winner's gonna be like -6, -7. You know,
so
are we looking at like -11? Or are we looking like -5, -6, -7 again?
So that's easier to answer, Tyler, when the courses are played more often on the PGA Tour. So I think, what was it, Oak Hill or Oakmont?
The last one,
yeah, Oak Hill. I think
it was Oak Hill. I think.
Like that's been played on. There's been multiple majors from the Senior Tour, PGA Tour, LPGA, where it's been consistently one of the harder courses. I think this is the first time in like 67 years, maybe. I think that there's a PGA event being played, or at least on televised event being played at the LA Country Club. So I don't necessarily know the number. I think a lot of that does factor into the weather too.
Okay.
But yeah, I think more so is knowing which players are going to succeed, knowing what strategies like wedge play is it really important here.
Yeah.
Or can long hitters thrive because there's not, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff is more giving as to what people will shoot. But.
Okay, cool. Do you guys want to get into our plays here for our board that we'll put out? We'll put this out pretty early tomorrow, if not even tonight.
Let's put it out tonight so people, if there's any late night listeners, they can hear the insight.
This will be published here at midnight tonight, so we won't tweet it out till tomorrow morning, but you can listen in. So, all right, let's start with top 10. Our top 10 that's where we usually start backwards, right?
Yeah, 10-5 winner, right?
And then long shot.
10-5 winner, surprise winner.
Yep.
And I know
and
Trey.
We did change our long shot odds, right?
Well, it didn't matter for me, but what I know you had said 5 and Trent had said 4. What did you guys end on?
I said, I'm good with 4 or even 45
we'll do
plus.
4. We'll do 4.
Neither one matters to me because.
Oh man,
yeah,
Tyler's.
Yeah, I'm pulling a Trey right now, dude.
I'm anxious for his surprise.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
All right, so I am going. I'll start off here. My top 10. I'm going Dustin Johnson. I have DraftKings odds, so I'm going Dustin Johnson's at plus 330 right now for top 10 finish.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give my top 10 player next, and that is Cameron Young at plus 400.
I like that play, Trey. Cam Young's a guy I looked at a lot. I did not make a play on, but I like him.
Yeah, I think he's been playing well lately, and I think he's due for a career-defining victory here soon.
Okay. Trent?
And this is top what? Top 10?
Top 10.
Top 10. I am going to go. I'm going with the hometown boy. I'm going with Homa. Max.
I know who it is.
Maximilian.
Yeah, he's a California born and raised, guys.
Remember Trent, I have all these that actually pre-populate every golfer in the top 400 in the world.
Yep. So I'm going Max. I'm going Max Homa.
Cool.
Trent,
Max
he
Homa
shot
top
61 at this course.
Trent, what are the odds on that one there?
For him is top 10.
Yeah.
Plus 310.
310. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
that's not bad. So we got a 400.
Trey, you liking that pick?
I do like that pick.
We got 400, 310, and a 330. So it's pretty decent.
He played there in college. He played the LA Country Club North Course in the SEC tournament, and that's when he shot a 61.
Hey, it matters because look what Fitzpatrick did that year that he won his major.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He was the only guy that played that course and then ended up winning that tournament. I've been really brushing up on my Netflix Full Swing, I think it's called. Is that what it's called?
Oh, that's a great show.
I've been letting that play in the mornings during my coffee and my breakfast. So.
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, next we got top 5. Not gonna lie, my top 5 is not too exciting, but I feel like he's due for something here soon to at least be close to the top. I'm going with Scotty Scheffler. At plus 150. Not too great of odds, but I don't know. I feel like he's been the favorite like the last 3 tournaments and hasn't won.
Rightfully so though.
So I feel like if I'm gonna take him top 5. I'm not taking him as my winner, but I'm going top 5 with Scotty Scheffler. Plus 150.
What were those odds? 150.
Plus 150, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Like I said, not too great, but
it's tricky.
Yeah.
My top 5 is a guy that, I pick a lot, never really comes through for me, and I feel like if I didn't pick him this time, he would definitely probably be up there, and I'm going to go Colin Morikawa.
I was just going to say Colin.
Yeah, plus 600.
You do. Actually, Tyler, he's at plus 650 on FanDuel.
Okay.
For top 5. Colin Morikawa.
Yeah.
Okay, I was going DraftKings at 600.
Trent, who you got for top 5?
Top 5. I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm gonna stick with the guys that I just love to cheer for, and I'm gonna go Jordan Spieth for my top 5.
What's his odds?
I'm on FanDuel. FanDuel has him at plus 490.
Okay. That's pretty good odds for a top 10. Or sorry,
top 5.
Yeah, top 5. All right.
You like my 600 odds for top 5? Or?
Is that you didn't tell me? You didn't tell me what it was.
600.
600. All right.
Plus, he said plus. I said plus 650 actually for his.
Yeah, that's a lot better than my odds. They're 150.
Yeah, but I mean that guy. How can you? You can't hate when you're working with Scotty Scheffler. Holy cow!
Yeah, it's
All
very
right,
true.
my last one here is my winner. My winner is Hovland, Victor Hovland,
Wow.
and that is plus 1,800.
A little redemption from the last major. Is that what you're going with?
I'm not really sure. There's something that just tells me.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I'll tell you why I think Victor might struggle is his wedge game is not the best.
Okay.
And this is a course where that's going to come into factor a lot.
That's fair. I mean, I actually took on DraftKings. You had an odds boost too.
Plus 300 surge.
Yeah, so it actually took 1,800 to 2,100. So.
Oh wow. Jeez.
So buck to win 22. You know, I mean, you can turn that into whatever.
Right.
Let's see. Don't do it, Trey. Don't do it.
I'm gonna do it, and I'm
Don't
glad
do
I'm
it,
gonna do it to you. So my winner is a guy that, hot take here, leaves for live after he wins this tournament. All right, it's a guy that's never been outspoken one way or another, who I think is the true face of professional golf. And that is Jon Rahm.
I like that pick.
I got him at plus 900.
What is it?
I got him at plus 900, but plus 1,200 with the odds surge.
With the odds. That was actually I was between him and Hovland.
Yep.
Those are my two that I was looking at. That's very close to Jon Rahm.
So wait a second. What do you mean leaves for live?
Well, I'm sorry. I shouldn't say leaves for live. He joins the live golf league.
Can't they all? I was gonna say, can't they all do that now?
If they get the contracts offered to them, yeah. And you couldn't tell me that Liv won't offer Jon Rahm a contract?
They should.
No, I'm not disagreeing with that.
They won't offer it to Rory, and they won't offer it to the guys I'm sure that didn't come. But Jon Rahm, I think, is a different story because he's never been outspoken about Liv in a negative way. He's never been a rah-rah guy for the PGA Tour. I think he's been a neutral dude that just plays great golf. And I think now that he knows that, hey, what's the harm in me going and taking a big contract if sure, I might get a little fine or a slap on the wrist from the PGA when I go play their events, but
dude, he's also a big McAfee guy, so I like Jon Rahm.
Well,
and he's best buddies with Phil Mickelson and Sergio Garcia.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good point, Trey. I like that.
He better be careful of one thing. The Varancas.
The stinky Varancas.
Oh boy, where is this heading?
That might be like our. That might be like my fantasy football team.
I was gonna say that could definitely be a fantasy football team.
Yeah.
Thank you, Varancas. What was the other one? Cut edge. What is it?
No, chewed edge.
Chewed edge. All right. Text me though so I can tweet them out.
All right, I will.
All right. Trent, who's your winner?
All right.
What are your odds?
Let's go back to back, boys. Back to back.
Really?
Brooksy.
Wow. Okay. At what
bold.
odds?
Plus 1,200.
You think he goes back to back?
Yep.
Wow. It was very hard for me not to pick that, but it was because of the back to back thing.
You look at championship golfers, and when they win, their mindset is so like, hey, I'm the best.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they have
when people get hot, they go on runs. You're right.
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, I look at like Scheffler, and honestly, and once again, been watching Full Swing, but even like in the episode with Brooks Koepka, he's like, when you talk, and this was when Scotty Scheffler was on an absolute tear, winning everything, right? He says right now, if you ask Scotty Scheffler what's he thinking about while he's on the course or even off the course, he's probably saying nothing. Nothing's on my mind. Just going out and playing my game, playing golf. And I think that's a big thing with all sports is guys can you can get in your own head too much, and that can really deter your success. So I'm going Brooksy. I want to see him on another blink to clap ratio, video out there.
He's nuts.
I don't think his body can take that.
Oh, he can. He interviewed on Barstool, so he can. He's good. He's going golden. But
All right.
yes, can I throw? Oh wait, we still have a. I have a little thing at the end here to bring up to you guys, and I want to hear your take if you would place the wager or not. But
all right,
go ahead. Long shot. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Surprise winner here. All right. I know you guys were talking about odds and all that stuff. It actually didn't affect me at all. I got plus 8,000. Corey Connors.
You love Corey Connors.
I don't
Tyler,
love Corey Connors.
Can I throw this out there to you?
Why do you say I love Corey Connors? I haven't bet on him yet.
You were thinking for the Canadian guy, man.
Yeah.
No, because I'll tell you this: his last couple tournaments.
Tim Hortons.
No, I do like Tim Hortons coffee, but no. Corey Connors.
He gave us respiratory problems. No, I'm just kidding. He didn't.
So yeah, I'm going Corey Connors. He's
plus
a guy.
9,000, Ty. Plus 9.
Is it now? Okay, all right. That's why it's giving me a cash out then. But yeah, I got plus 8. But he's a guy I've actually wanted to bet even in my top 10 last couple tournaments. Haven't, but I feel like he's finished close. So I'm going Corey Connors, surprise winner.
Okay. I am going with my long shot. So, I wanted to change it to plus 5,000. I compromised Trent 4,000. So I went with a guy that has plus 4,500 odds. That's Tommy Fleetwood.
Okay.
Yeah, and the reason being is
that's my guy last time.
The RBC heritage that he just lost in a brutal playoff to from a guy that drained a 70-foot putt. Tommy Fleetwood is due for. He's too good of a golfer not to have a major championship when his career is all said and done. And I think his iron play is like mid-range wedges and short game is great for this course. Like I said, he's hot right now, so I think that's a good little steal to get him to win it at plus 4,500.
All right, cool. Trent?
All right, plus 4,500 odds. That's why you made me sweat a little bit there. Give me Bryson DeChambeau.
Oh, gosh.
Interesting.
I just can't stand him.
He's been a guy I had bet on in the past that's just like not done anything.
I think he's cleaned up. I think he's cleaned up his reputation. He came on pretty strong to the golf world.
I think he kind of had to.
Yep. So I'm going Bryson.
Okay. For your surprise winner, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Bryson and Brooksy, huh?
All right.
That's right. So here's my quick little question for you guys. Interesting little prop bet to make on the U.S. Open on DraftKings. You know, we didn't hit our bang bet for the NBA Finals.
We almost did.
Almost did twice.
Yeah.
That would have been nice.
I'll tell you what, I didn't bet that at all.
Yeah, it's fine. Then we would have just been totally excited, and you would have just been like, "Well, that's awesome."
Well, I'll be honest. The first time I didn't even know what the hell you guys were talking about. So
let me say it. So DraftKings, you go into U.S. Open, you go all the way over at the top. You swipe all the way over to the right until you see Live Golf, and there is for a Live player to win the U.S. Open. Any Live player to win the U.S. Open is plus 340.
Really?
Yep.
Right.
So
is there a no option?
No, it's just a yes.
Is there a no option?
Well, those odds aren't going to be that good, but you got to figure. I mean, if you go,
that's nothing.
What do you mean? Like, you think it should be higher?
Yeah.
Really?
You think about it, there's really only 3, maybe 4 Live guys that...
You want me to read them real quick?
I'm going to say Brooks, Cam Smith.
Cam Smith, Dustin
Bryson,
Johnson.
Dustin Johnson, yeah.
Patrick Reed, Mito Pereira, Joaquin Neiman, Phil Mickelson, Sergio Garcia, Thomas Peters, Sebastian Munoz, Abraham Answer, Carlos Ortiz, Martin Kamer, and David Puig. So, I like those little side specials that sometimes you can.
Oh yeah.
you can take, but yeah, plus 340 for any live player to win.
Yeah, it's not a bad. That's not a bad bet at all.
Yeah. Sprinkle, golf is something that you got to sprinkle here and there. Yeah. Makes it a little bit more enjoyable. On especially, I mean, it's already a wonderful thing on a Sunday afternoon, but
it's a wonderful thing all weekend.
Oh, absolutely.
Also, might be a wonderful thing to watch by the pool.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes.
It might also be. No, I was kidding.
How far are we gonna take this?
There'd be nothing better than sitting at the pool, sipping on a beverage, and avoiding stanky Varankas. I mean, just Varankas. Sorry, now Trey's got me calling him stanky.
Right.
Jeez. And chewed up edges, or whatever Trey called them. Jeez.
Chewed edge bunkering.
That's great.
All right.
Love it.
Well, hey.
One other thing real quick I did want to mention, I forgot to mention earlier too, was last night Mark Stone's hat trick. And last time in a game-clinching playoff game, Mark Stone's hat trick, last time that actually happened was 1922.
Wow.
So something interesting to think about. And last time a hat trick happened in the Stanley Cup final was Peter Forsberg in 1996 with the Avalanche. So just something to be,
I was just a wee little guy at that point, 6 years old.
Anybody's out there playing bar trivia, so at least you know that.
That's pretty awesome.
So, hey, appreciate you guys. Hopefully everybody listens. Good old Thursday morning here, leading into your weekend, and have a great night. Thanks, Trent. Thanks, Trey.
See you, fellas. Enjoy the U.S. Open.
All right.
Darn right.
Let's get it.
Have some fun.
Have a great day.